Hello, I'm Chief Constable Kier Pritchard, and this is the third question raised through the public to both myself and the PCC. So the question is, when I'm out walking, I've seen repeated examples of people cycling on pavements, which makes social distancing impossible and leads me to have to step out into the road, which is dangerous. What can you do about this? Well, firstly, thank you for all the people that have taken time to submit questions about social distancing and the safe use of the roads. We know that people still have many concerns about those who are not adhering to the government rules, especially around social distancing. Our role in policing is to enforce the law and, of course, not the guidelines. So we do not have a role in enforcing social distancing or, for instance, the wearing of masks in the public. They are part of the guidelines. We, of course, police the law. Our focus in this whole lockdown period has been about educating the public. We've taken the response around encouraging people to follow the regulations, explaining the importance and engaging with people that we see out and about. Our role has not been to prioritise the enforcement of the regulations, but we have done that when the warnings that we've provided haven't been followed. So we understand that there is a huge amount of concern across the public around people who haven't been following the guidelines strictly, when so many of you have, and I just want to say a thank you to all of you that have been doing that. So we've been trying to provide education to the public about following the 2-metre rules, explaining to people the importance of that, and obviously encouraging people to take personal responsibility for their actions. We've been trying to remind people about the consequences for this and the real importance of why the regulations were brought in place. It was and continues to be about avoiding the spread of the virus, protecting our NHS, and of course avoiding unnecessary further losses of life. It is so important and no more important than that. So it's everybody's effort, and we're all in this together as part of the national focus and the national effort to try to tackle and beat this terrible virus. So we've all played our part. We know in terms of the cycling on pavements that there's been a huge upsurge in the number of people buying bikes and taking exercise outside, cycling individually or now with families or other members of households, and that's been really positive in terms of the country's health and well-being. But sometimes we have been aware that people have cycled in places such as pavements that's placed other members of the public at potential risk. We know that the government have released funds to our local authorities to think about how areas, local towns, villages can be future-proofed really in terms of things such as cycle lanes, and certainly as a keen cyclist myself, I very much look forward to that. So I think there's been some positives. I really understand the concerns. We'll of course wait to see how the country now scales itself up in terms of the cycle lanes that we'll see. But in the meantime, thank you again for your question. I hope that's provided some answers to you.